In this video, I'll show you how to turn some old frames and luan into beautiful works of art. Hi!
Hi!
This is my friend Sarah.
Hi.
The queen of rock and roll.
Stop.
It's true. Anyway, today we are going to do a fun project using DIY paint and IOD products. We're going to use just these pieces of, it's kind of like a thin plywood, see it? And then we just have some random frames.
Kenise embellished this.
So you can see what it looked like before. It was plain, and then I used some IOD air dry clay and some molds. Hey! There you go. We're gonna paint our frames. I'm gonna start with white swan, and then I'm gonna use faded burlap. We made a gray with white swan and black velvet. I started by covering the entire frame with white swan. When the white swan dried, I applied a thin coat of faded burlap, revealing the white swan underneath. If any of you are from the Baltimore, Washington area, you know her better as the queen of rock and roll.
We rocked out.
Yeah.
A long time together.
I'm so excited to have her with me today, and we decided to do a project together. So we were inspired by some wall decor that we saw.
We love to shop together. Kenise said to me, you know, we could make that. I said, I'm down.
The first thing we did was cover the board with Hey Sailor. Then we lightly misted the board with water so the next layer of paint would go on smoothly. Then we added blue iris and water lily to give the board some dimension. In the next step, we used IOD Barnwood Planks stamps to create a cool background. We painted the stamps with water lily and blue iris and used the brayer to stamp them on our board. So we started out with a blank board like that. We turned it into this. And now, so we're going to use white swan, faded burlap, and then from there, it's a crapshoot. I'm going to use the IOD's Seashore stamps. So the first time you're going to use it, take a real light sanding pad or something very fine. Just lightly go in all four directions over the stamp. And that's it. Done. You only have to do it the very first time. Sarah's going to decoupage.
A little bit, but I've never done this before. So if I can do it, you can do it.
This is a napkin. All napkins are going to be either 2 or 3 ply. What you want is just 1 ply. So you want to pull it apart. So you just want the top layer.
I dip the brush in water and I'm just going to go around it so it kind of tears away and it looks kind of natural. I'm just wetting it gently and then I'm going to tear it.
So I'm just going to take this stamp. So I like to use, this is the top that I took off of this. And the reason I do that is because when I want to go and stamp, it gives me a little bit more stability and I have some room to hold on to it. So I just lightly put some white swan and some faded burlap on my stamp. And I'm just gonna randomly stamp it on my picture. You can just use your fingers and press it down, that works. I actually like to use the brayer and my fingers to kind of hold where I'm not using the brayer. Be careful that you're not too willy-nilly so you don't move it. So these are JRV stencils. They're great. They have a nice weight to them. So they're reusable. The thing with stencils is that you want to use just a tiny bit of paint. Like Sarah's, she's tapping it off.
Yeah.
So she's we call it unloading. She's unloading the brush, so it's just barely any paint. Now make sure you hold your stencil in place so it doesn't shift around. And you can either pounce, which is what Sarah's doing now, or you can also swirl. And if you're gonna swirl, you wanna start off of the stencil a little bit, and you kind of swirl on your way in. So here's what I have so far. I'm gonna add a lot more stamps to mine and maybe some other stuff. Sarah's got some decoupage and a JRV stencil on there.
The next day I added more stencils, but I still wasn't happy with how it lined up.
So I think I'm gonna move it more this way and add some more here to fill in.
I repeated the process of painting the stamps and adding them to my picture until I got the composition that I liked. I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sarah Fleischer, the queen of rock and roll.
If you want any of the products, I have all of these things for sale on kinesco.com. See you next time.
Bye.
It's all or nothing.